This car is built according to the classic scheme for crossovers, a load-bearing body with high ground clearance and fully independent suspensions on all wheels. However, besides this, the Nissan X Trail boasts a more advanced all-wheel drive transmission. It has a force-locking center differential and a self-locking rear. Therefore, a potential buyer who wants to see a little more off-road in his crossover often chooses the X Trail. The car was produced only in the back of a 5-door station wagon, and at first it was equipped with a gasoline 4 with a volume of 2 liters, 140 horsepower. Since 2003, the range has been replenished with a 2.5-liter engine, 165 horsepower, and a 2.2-liter 114 horsepower turbo diesel. Both a 5-speed manual gearbox and a 4-speed automatic were combined with gasoline engines. The turbo diesel was equipped only with the 6-speed mechanics. It is noteworthy that with all these motors, X Trail was officially sold in Russia. True, diesel modifications are much less common in our country than gasoline versions of the Nissan X Trail. Such cars, as a rule, were previously ordered abroad. But on the secondary, you can easily find a suitable option. True, for some reason, relatively fresh copies of 2006 to 2007 are offered noticeably less compared to older cars. When choosing a used X Trail, of course, a complete diagnosis is welcome. But many hackneyed specimens can be rejected even at the preliminary inspection stage. And for this it is not at all necessary to be a great specialist. Inspect, as far as conditions allow, the lower part of the body and the bottom. If damage and defects occur, it is better to refuse such a machine. And their absence, on the contrary, is another argument in favor of its purchase. So long. Inside, the Nissan X Trail feels like a real SUV. The high seating position, large hood, and even the centrally located instruments hint at its off-road prowess. Moreover, in the usual place of the dashboard, an additional glove compartment is equipped here, where you can attach a mobile phone, a road map, or a notebook. There is also a 12-volt outlet. In general, there are enough different containers in the cabin of the practical X Trail. For example, above the traditional glove box is another container, divided into 2 shelves. You can only keep small things there. But on the center console, 2 cup holders are masked by curtains, which are connected to the air conditioning and heating systems, so that drinks remain cool or warm as you wish. The front is free, and the range of movement of the seats is quite wide. 3 adults can fit on the back sofa, but 2 will be really comfortable there. Finishing materials are not the most expensive, but the assembly is neat. Be prepared for the fact that the front panel creaks in motion. A pre-owned Nissan X Trail is guaranteed to come with ABS and electronic brake force distribution, EBD, 2 airbags, power steering and an audio system, as well as electric windows and heated mirrors. There are many cars on the secondary market, additionally equipped with roof rails, alloy wheels, fog lights and climate control. Of course, the crossover is not as expensive to maintain as a real SUV with a complex all-wheel drive transmission. Nevertheless, its main systems and components will eventually require repair. So, gasoline engines are reputed to be very reliable. A strong chain is used in the gas distribution mechanism, and the valves are devoid of hydraulic compensators. But because of our low-quality gasoline, catalysts fail, and there are 2 of them on the engine. On machines younger than 2005, changes were made to the design, and the problem was not as relevant as on older models. Spark plugs with platinum electrodes can withstand no more than 30,000 to 50,000 kilometers on Russian fuel. Many owners put ordinary candles and change them at about the same frequency, although the officials categorically do not welcome this. If the 2-liter engine does not start well, 100 against 1, that there is not enough capacity of the standard capacitor of the ignition system. Usually it is changed to a larger capacity part. A similar part from a 2.5-liter engine is suitable. In general, a reliable turbo diesel sends with oil leakage through the turbocharger bearings and from the pump that supplies diesel fuel to the fuel rail. Replacing the officials is expensive, from 50,000 rubles or more, as these nodes change in the assembly. Transmission. There are almost no weak points in the transmission. The suspension has not very strong wheel bearings, 2,100 rubles, as well as bushings, 300 to 500 rubles, and racks, 1,450 rubles, of the stabilizer. But after a design change in 2004, the resource of these parts increased to 40,000 to 50,000 kilometers. Engine. If you felt that when driving at low speed or in traffic jams, the engine began to twitch and tremble, then there is a high probability of valve sticking. But do not rush to the service. Mechanics say that it is enough to fully open the throttle for 10 to 15 seconds a couple of times a day for prevention, so that the valves self-clean from carbon deposits. In electrical equipment, the wiring of the sound signal often fails. On some specimens equipped with a sunroof, its electric drive fails. The motor, poorly protected from external influences, was flooded with rain and water at the sink. The tuned-in radio tape recorder was often capricious. Either the sound disappeared, or it suddenly turned off completely. Body. Strong enough thanks to double-sided electroplating. True, as with most Japanese, the Nissan X Trail paintwork is not durable. The transmission has 3 modes. All mode 4WD 3 modes, 2WD, front drive wheels, auto. The rear axle is automatically connected when the front axle slips. Locking the center differential with the clutch in a ratio of 57:43 between the front and rear wheels. Suspension honestly takes care of about 100,000 kilometers. After that, you will have to invest about 10,000 to 15,000 rubles in the chassis. To replace worn parts, it is recommended to set the camber and toe angles after 300 km.